This morning, they asked me on Joy FM about politics, and the concern is always that if we continue to run politics as it is, one day we're going to have a challenge where people are not going to believe what we say anymore. During the appointment committee hearings of Supreme Court Justice, Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, she's told the appointment committee something. She said that when she was growing up, there was a saying that book no lie or paper no lie, so that when something is written in black and white, it was to be believed. She was reporting to the appointment committee that, to her surprise, that's not the same anymore. You can see a black and white document and it is untrue. And it's erodes confidence in the public system and it erodes confidence in politics. Here we are saddled with this story, and I believed it. Of course, even though I support Hawa Koomson to the hilt, I believed it. And I thought that Hawa Koomson may have been under pressure to sort of shoot a gun. Fair enough. And there are some people in MPP who felt that the law must take its course, everything. I remember the security experts like Professor Kwesienin, the kinds of words that they use against Hawa Koomson, calling virtually for her removal on account of a story that was told by the Honorable Koryoo, who is now the Member of Parliament for Kasoa. And they were both in a contest to represent Kasoa in Parliament. Hawa Koomson was the incumbent, and she was challenging on the NDC ticket. I believe it wasn't the first time she was challenging Hawa Koomson. And there was this routing that occurred. She gave a story, and tonight we're going to go through what she said first, what she said second, what she said now. Because earlier today, she held a press conference in Parliament. GBC Online had the story, so later on, those of you who want to see the full one can go on GBC Online. But we have edited the salient points, and we're going to share with you. It's quite interesting and very disheartening, I have to say. I'm sorry to use that word. Very disheartening for a member of Parliament currently who is not rendering an apology, but actually blaming the minister in the press conference that she held today. So let's tell the story. Ghanaians observing the campaign one day heard that they had been shooting in Kasoa. Hawa Koomson was already quite disliked by the NDC, given her very frontal role in the disturbances that occurred in Parliament on the 7th of January. Hawa Koomson stood her ground on the issue of who will sit on which chair, and she was very brutal. She's a very strong woman, those of you who know her. And she was very brutal in insisting that some chairs were for the majority and some chairs were for the minority. Photographs and videos came up, and she was painted out as a violent woman, etc., etc. So that had been her record, and she was an anti-person as far as the NDC was concerned. So when this story broke, and the Honorable Koryoo alleged that, she didn't quite allege, she said Hawa had shot at her, and two people had died. It sort of fitted into the story of Hawa Koomson is violent. So this is what she put out on 7th, was it 7th December 2024? The election day, that is. Hawa Koomson tried to kill me. 2 of my agents are dead. I am beginning to guess that this happened before voting ended. Now, if in the middle of voting, this is published by a woman who has already been propaganded as violent, and you see this one, you are naturally going to be concerned about it. So this is the first thing she put out. And then she went on TV3 to speak about what had happened. And then later on, she was granted an interview by our friend Captain Smart on Onua FM about what has happened. Let's see first what she said to TV3.
This is one of the collective centers, which is Iron City. I went to step to Christ first. I realized that there was a VA, which is Hawa Koomson's VA, with the boys, Tima, and the rest. The same boys I complained about. They have followed me, and they have shot one of my guys. In fact, they shot at my car separate times.
I see. And what's the situation there where you are now?
One guy is dead. It is so peaceful. Obviously, when someone is dead, how can it be peaceful? How can it be calm? There's a dead person lying down there. I want to think I killed someone. He wants to take my life, and he has killed someone. And in the
but now when I will drive it.
Pacho Debbie.
Okay.
Now I drive an Chicano.
All right. Mo who now yes and an team.
Now yeah 6 and Chicano.
Okay. Now Pacho, What two gunshots, not a bed do be say?
Yet say two by 3.
Bed do be 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Enti, one more two, no. One would do much be some who koya and I saw more than a woman.
Patromo Daniel Mohokoye.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so you heard the narration. Let's move on. No, I'm not here yet, am I? I'm now on Muntaka's statement, isn't it? Do you have Muntaka's statement? Yes. Let's look at Muntaka. We are not here yet. So next, let's look at the President Mahama then commissioned an inquiry into all of the violence of 2020 and 2024, including this one, which was very heavy on the agenda. The Minister of Interior reported to the media on the government accountability platform of Phyllis, and this was he said.
2024, the scene of the incident.
Now, said before a commission of inquiry where she had to speak under oath, the Honorable Member of Parliament, whom you heard narrating and was crying, I mean, when she was talking to Captain Smart, she was sober. It was like she was crying. She had been traumatized. She, Ebibi Groma people, are they there? The School of Performing Arts at the University of Ghana. They need her. Madam Honorable Koryoo, maybe you missed your way. You should be doing what Jifa Gomashi, the tourism minister, knows how to do very well. To go to the School of Performing Arts at the University of Ghana and become a great actress. I think you will be a great actress because the way you can dramatize when there's nothing happening, I admire you for that. It's really, really heartbreaking. This is what the Interior Minister said. He said, Phyllis Naa Koryoo Okenno denied her convoy was attacked. Koryoo, okay, Phyllis Naa Koryoo Okenno denied her convoy was attacked, stating she was not at the scene. Those involved have refused to speak with the task force. This is quite shocking. So she goes before the committee. Everything she told Captain Smart then, she erased this before she's at the committee, that nothing had happened. Her convoy had not been attacked. Because here at the committee, she needed to provide evidence of what she's saying. That's why we always say that propaganda is different from speaking in court or speaking before a committee. At the propaganda platform, you can say anything. But once you get into a committee or into court and you have to defend what you are saying, they backpedal, they develop cold feet because they were just speaking lies, concoction for political gain. That's something we have to identify perhaps in our behavioral patterns for politicians. Concoction of stories for political gain. If people do that, there has to be some sanctions for it because there was too many of that in our last 2-3 elections, particularly 2024. So much happened. So this is what happened. Now, today, after she's receiving flack from young people all over the place who are completely shocked, the Gen Zs are completely shocked because they were all outraged by the story when they heard it. That this why is Hawa Koomson who's shooting at people on election day? Now they are all very worried. Was she really lying? Could she have been lying? Is it possible that she was lying? But why? An honorable member of parliament. She wants to go to parliament and she wants to go to parliament with this dramatic lies. You know, in a situation where now the writ of defamation may lie in favor of Hawa Koomson. She can take out a writ of defamation and sue her because she has actually confessed that she was lying. I mean, what is this? Let's see what she said today. Let's see. Have a look.
At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on the election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Hawa Koomson and a NADMO pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truth will emerge. Let me end by saying that as the sitting member of the good people of Ewutu Senya East constituency, I consider myself a mother for all.
What does that mean? What does consider yourself? You are telling lies. They're asking you, you say you're a mother for all. Are you going to teach the children that you are mothering these lies and that's how they're going to grow into citizens of Ghana? These lies that you are telling, that's what you're going to teach children that you are the mother to? You consider yourself a mother for all. So you have to be telling lies about another mother so that you win the election. You see how these things are? This is politics. And you see, as we continue to do that, the general public lose interest in the politics. Now, tomorrow, there's another election. An MP comes from the Galamsey periodical, it's TV, and he says that Collins Dowda shot at me. They'll say, hey, yeah, these politicians, when they say these things, they don't mean it to. That's what Koryoo did in 2024. That's what is going to happen. So the credibility of politics is going down the drain because the principal political actors have refused to fight the fight with the real tools of fighting. The battle of vision, the battle of a program, the battle of a policy. They've refused to use those tools because sometimes they can't use them. So they go for unorthodox tools. And it ends us here where an MP is blatantly lying. She lied about everything just so that she will draw sympathy onto herself and then she might win the votes. She won. Today, she's still talking. She says that she never told the committee that she wasn't attacked. Please play that video again. That thing she did at Parliament today. Please play that video again. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Ewusu Senior. Let's see it again.
At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Hawa Koomson and a Nadmo pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truer facts will emerge. Let me end by saying that as the sitting member of the good people of Ewusu Senior East constituency, I consider myself a mother for all.
I consider myself a mother for all, so I was lying that you people will vote for me, then I become mother for many. Madam, this is not nice. This one is not nice at all. This is the politics that we are practicing in Ghana for the future of Ghana, so democracy will be sustained. Democracy is already under threat. When you add these concocted stories so that you get elected, you are getting the youth to lose interest in all of these enterprise. And later on, they're looking for another system of government where these things are not permissible. And that's a system of government with the soldiers holding a gun. That's where it's not permissible. You can't do that. You really need to apologize, not even to Hawa Koomson. Forget about Hawa Koomson. She's a competitor. You may not like her. She may not like you. That's okay. But don't apologize to her. Apologize to the young people who followed you in Kasoa. That group of people, the young people, the NDC women who were trolling to your rallies, the women who are 25, 27, 32, 19, who were coming to your rallies and who had faith in you. Tonight, you have let the faith down. You've dropped the ball. You've broken the bottle because you lied. What more can we say? We can't say much. We are only commentators. We are not the Speaker of Parliament. And I don't know whether the Speaker of Parliament is interested in what has been happening. But at the end of the day, Hawa Koomson has calmly issued a statement, and the statement is as follows. She says, I have taken note of the recent revelations by the Honorable Minister for the Interior, the Honorable Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, regarding the findings of investigations into election-related violence, including the tragic incident at Kasoa. The minister's report confirms that 21 suspects have been identified, that there were clear breaches of discipline by some security officers, and that the use of firearms in certain situations was unjustified. These findings affirm what I have consistently maintained, that the Kasoa incident was the result of security lapse, institutional failures, not the actions or instigation of any individual. For years, I've endured harsh and unfair public attacks. I was branded violent, reckless, and unfit for office through sensational and misleading headlines. The judgment was swift and painful. Today, the Interior Minister's findings have vindicated me. confirming that the violence was not directed by me, but stemmed from broader systemic failures in election security coordination. The unjustified accusations and intense vilification I faced even led to my assault during the rerun of 19 polling stations in Ablekuma North, where I had gone peacefully to monitor the proceedings. That experience remains one of the darkest moments of my public life, a reminder of how false narratives can destroy reputations and endanger lives. While I take no delight in revisiting these painful experiences, I extend my deepest sympathies to the families of all victims of electoral violence. Their loss must be our national lesson. I fully support the Interior Minister's recommendations, including compensation for victims, enhanced police training, the use of non-lethal crowd control tools, and the discontinuation of military involvement in election crowd control operations. I call on all Ghanaians, especially political actors and the media, to exercise calm reflection and responsibility. Let us avoid misinformation, incitement, and divisive rhetoric. This moment calls not for blame, but for introspection, justice, and national unity. May this truth restore faith in our institutions and strengthen our democracy. Let us all pledge that never again should political competition lead to the loss of lives of Ghanaians. And is signed by the Honorable Mavis Hawa Koomson, former Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, former Minister for Special Development Initiatives, Fisheries, Aquaculture Development, and the MPP National Women's Organizer Hopeful. Congratulations, Madam. Truth stands, as we say in Commonwealth Hall, and vindication is always in the womb of time. What a story. What a story. Are there more stories like that going to come up for the 2024 elections where we're going to see a lot of the things that were said untrue? I don't know why they gave me Honorable Koryoo's picture. Madam, good night. Don't do that again, okay? Good night. I think that people may forgive you. You're a woman, so people will forgive you. Women are very important to our society, and we adore women. Without women, our society will not be where it is. And once you're a woman in leadership, we want to support you so that we can have more women in leadership. But don't be telling lies, Madam. We beg. Don't tell these lies. They are too bad. When you see Hawa Koomson somewhere, send her a text and say that let bygones be bygones and we can move on. Apologize to the young people and we can move on. But don't do that again. Okay, please, we beg, don't do that again.